Tell me, who are they, these drifters? Even more transient than we are, wrung out from the start by some relentless will, and for whose sake? Still it wrings them and bends them, slings and swings them, tosses them up and catches them again, and they tumble as if through oiled and more slippery air to stamp the threadbare carpet worn thin with their feet. Their constant leaping up on a carpet cut loose in the universe, laid out here like a plaster, as if the suburban sky had wounded the earth. And barely discernible, yet upstanding and unmistakably on display. The capital D of destiny, the unrelenting grip of it, dallies with them, rolls them, the toughest, and plays with them the way Augustus the Strong would crush tin plates at his table. And about this middle point gathers the rows of those who look on. They bloom and fall away from around this pounding pistil, this pistil fertilized by the kicked-up dust of its own pollen, though it can bear only a joyless false fruit, the witless gawping faces, the glazed veneer and vacant smirk of boredom. There the shriveled-up, wrinkled weightlifter, an old man who only beats a drum now, so shrunken in his baggy skin it looks big enough to once have held two of him, the other already laid in a graveyard, and he, the lone survivor, deaf and growing at times a little muddled in his widowed skin. But there is the young one, the man who might be the offspring of a neck and a nun, bulging and strapping, full of muscles and innocence. O you, all given over to a grief, when it was still small, given like a plaything during one of its long convalescences. Then you, who drop down 100 times a day, with the kind of bruising only unripened fruit knows out of the tree of your collaborative efforts, which in a few minutes runs through spring, summer, autumn, quicker than water. You fall down thud on the grave. Sometimes, in momentary pause, a tender look to your seldom affectionate mother tries to establish itself in your face. But no, your body overpowers it, that shy face you scarcely attempt. And again, the man claps his hands for a leap, and before a pain can grow any sharper or closer to your galloping heart, you feel a stinging in the soles of your feet, running ahead of the real cause of pain, and chasing a pair of smarting, quick tears to your eyes, and yet, blindingly, the smile. Angel, oh, pluck it, gather its small flowering, healing herb, conjure a vase and preserve it, set it there with the other pleasures not yet open to us, and give it a precious jar and praise it with a bold and flowing inscription, Acrobats salute. And then you, my lovely ones, past whom the sweetest of pleasures have swept in silence, perhaps the fringes of your costume are happy for you, or does its green silk, its metallic sheen, stretched on your firm young breasts, feel itself so infinitely spoiled it wants nothing? You being constantly yet differently weighed in the swaying scales, performing with the blank indifference of fruit put on display for the public, before the push and shove of shoulders. Where, oh, where is the place, I have it in my heart, where they were not able, where they fell off each other like rutting animals, poorly paired, where the weights were still heavy, where the plates wobbled off the poles, still being twirled in vain? And suddenly in this laborious nowhere, suddenly in this inexpressible place where the pure too little is inexplicably translated, it switches to the slick too much. The mass of intractable numbers resolves at last, and there is nothing. Squares, oh, the squares of that infinite showplace, Paris, where Madame Lamour, the milliner, twists and winds the unquiet ways of the world. Those endless ribbons from which she makes these loops and ruches, rosettes and flowers, and artificial fruits, all dyed with no eye for truth, but to daub the cheap winter hats of fate. Angel! Angel, if there were some place we didn't know of, and there, on a carpet impossible to describe, lovers could show off what they cannot hear, the bold and the high figure of their hearts swinging, the towering of their pleasure, ladders for the long time standing on no solid ground, but trembling, leant only into the other's leaning. And there they could perform all this before spectators crowded around them, the silent and innumerable dead. Would these then throw down their last, forever hoarded, forever hidden, unknown to us, eternally valid coins of happiness before the last, at last, truly smiling pair there on the quenched carpet?